Hello everyone and welcome back to Esther S T. I hope that you are doing very well. So excited that the weather is looking really good now that we are ending the month of June and stepping into July gradually. And I'm also hoping that you have enjoyed your 2024 thus far. Many thanks to our recent subscribers. You are certainly welcome on this channel, and we are really hoping that you are enjoying the content that you are watching so far. Without further ado, I want to move on to talk about a very important topic that I believe is very essential in our community today, and that is when you feel like you are not doing enough. Now, the feeling of wanting to do and act and become can be at times a distraction to where we currently are. Rather than trying to ask yourself, I should be further than this, you struggle to embrace where you are, because there are moments in our lives where all of us will think and look at our lives and say, how much have we really achieved? Are the results, are the fruits reflecting my input or my investment? And I was recently pondering over my life and asking myself, am I really doing enough? Am I really stepping out and doing what I believe I've been called to do? And there will be moments where we will all need to be still and have that time to just pause and say, regardless of me trying to figure it all out, what can I learn about the present? And it's so important that even when life can become so busy, even when life can become so distracting with so much noise, you have to realize that where you are is more than enough. How much more ourselves can we discipline our minds, even our words, what we say, and to an extent our environments. I speak a lot about the environments that we are in, because who we are around do influence us, whether we realize it or not. We can be around people who they carry trouble because they're constantly attracting it their way. That could be because they haven't let go of a situation, or they've been overthinking and they haven't released it to someone. There's so many things that people are going through that they're not really breaking down and setting themselves free. You might be a successful business owner right now, or a successful wife running a great business, and you have children, but you still don't feel enough. You might have got a new job with a great salary, but you still do not feel like you are doing enough. You might have a great car, a beautiful home, collaborations with reputable brands, but yet you still don't feel like you are doing enough. And my question to you is, do things satisfy you? Do positions and titles and accolades satisfy you, or should they make you feel better? Because no matter how far we want to get in life, there will always be more that wants to chase us. And most times in those moments where it doesn't seem busy, those are the moments where you must cherish it the most. Because every day is not the same. You might be off today, but you might be called to come to another event or to go back to work, and your day is distracted because you thought it was going to be a quiet day. But that doesn't mean that you're not doing enough. If you need to go, and if you're called, by all means do so. But the moments that you have free, don't take them for granted. We know how social media can be, on the other hand, and that is another topic in itself. And something that I found really intriguing on a friend's post recently was checking the motives of our hearts as to why we do things. We have to be convinced that what we're doing, are we really doing it for people to be blessed? Or are we doing it to be seen, to feel enough? We should not get into that trap of social media making us feel like we need to show everything all at once. There is beauty in delaying certain things until you know it's ready to be shared. And I talk a lot about this. Anything premature is not good to talk about at the early stages. Give it time to grow, give it time to develop, and then you share as you are led. And when you are sharing, don't share because you want people just to honor you and acknowledge you, or you feel insecure that you need to show people what you're doing. You can be so confident in the private stages of your life, and God can still do a thorough work in you and even trust you to take you higher. Remember that the higher you go, the more humble you must be. But it's not an opportunity to feel like you're not doing enough. If you are in a certain season in your life, even if you're not making a certain amount of money, or you don't feel like your business is prospering the way you envisioned it, it does not mean that you're doing something wrong. But you do need to ask yourself realistically, what is my purpose behind what I'm doing? Is it pleasing to God? Am I being fulfilled? Am I confident in the gifts that God has given me? Or am I just trying to get people to confirm and approve before I start stepping out? When you feel like you're not doing enough, it comes from a place of insecurity. It comes from a place of, am I doing enough? I need to show myself. And there are moments where even your loved ones just want you to be yourself. They don't want you to be anyone else, just you. When you have those people in your life, hold them. Because true friends and those that the Lord has ordained to be in your life for a set time, God can speak to them and God can share with them the things that are on your heart to help you overcome. When I know that I'm not my best self, I don't try and come on to pretend that I am. And even at times when I go offline, it doesn't mean that anything is wrong. I just prefer having quiet time to unwind and to sit down with myself and ask, what have I learned in this season? What am I currently enjoying about this season? And the things that I'm desiring, can that be left aside for the time being? Because I don't want my thoughts on what I don't yet have to affect where I am now. Because where I am right now is enough. And I know we desire more, and I know we desire to thrive and excel, and I'm not against that at all. We all will excel at the appointed time. But right now where you are, ask yourself, what are you learning in that season? Because if you can embrace where you are right now, even if it's small, I guarantee you, as Luke 16:10 says, you will be able to handle the bigger blessings, the bigger opportunities. Sometimes we ask for bigger blessings and they do require great responsibility. And you are accountable to what you ask for. And if you don't enjoy it, then what was the point of you asking for it in the first place? Again, our confidence comes from the Lord. It will never come from anyone telling you who you are. And if you are in that season in your life where you still struggle with people pleasing or feeling like you need to prove to someone who you are, you need to go back to that place and sit down and ask yourself, why am I doing this? How can I improve? The constant pressure of coming online and seeing what others are doing and then secretly going back to your home or your quiet place and comparing and wondering, why aren't I where they are? And they are also thinking, I need to be further. One of the things I really believe is sometimes we can look at people and people are looking at others. So in other words, there's someone right now inspired by you, whilst you are looking at someone else. And whether they tell you or not, it is the truth. Everyone has value in this life. Everyone has purpose. Whether you're working in retail or you're working in the corporate bank, we all have value and we can all learn from one another. But it does not mean that you are not enough. So I want to encourage you as you continue to take the time to understand who you are. Remember that you are not what you have. You are not your accolades. You are not what people say you are. You are who God says you are. And that should be such a consistent reminder daily. And the more you remember this, the better you will be at utilizing your gifts well. You can encourage people around you who you can sense that they're feeling down. You know, there are some people who are very gifted at sensing people's attitudes and personalities and how they're feeling at a set moment in time. But other people, they can overlook it because they're so focused on themselves. At times we can be guilty of that. You wake up every day, you focus on yourself. Maybe even your prayers are always about yourself. But when did you take the time to pray for someone else? It could be a friend. It could be someone that you might have met recently. Where has there been the time that you put them in prayers and said, I'm thinking about you today, and I want you to know that you are precious? And this is where servitude comes in. To some, serving may seem mediocre. It may seem less than, but it's really not. When you take your mind off yourself, you enjoy who you are becoming. And who you are becoming will always be greater than trying to figure out if I'm enough in the season that we are in. When I wrote my 7th book, The Becoming Woman, I knew I was on a journey from transitioning to singleness to courting. And that was a big leap. And even in that season of singleness, I didn't despise it. I didn't say, oh, once I get married, I'll be enough. I was already enough when I was a single lady. And I'm still enough as a married woman. And that's what matters. In every season of your life, in every transition and phase, you need to believe that you are enough. That you don't need to copy what other people are doing and trying to live the high life if you can't afford it. And this is something that we have to understand. If we can humble ourselves and appreciate where we are and not try to be like other people, you will see how much peace you will have in your life. When I think about the videos that I record and thinking about the journey of how I started YouTube, it was in my parents' home. After I was made redundant, I decided to utilize my skills of speaking and sharing my stories with my community. And up till now, I'm still doing the same thing. And I'm so grateful that I didn't despise those small beginnings. And of course, we're still growing as a community on YouTube. But you don't see me forcing and saying, oh, but by now I should have X amount. By now I should have this. By now I should have that. I'm grateful. And remember, saying that you are enough doesn't mean you're settling. But it also means that you are grateful and content for where you are. And that you're not defined by the numbers. Because when you define yourself by the numbers, you will never be satisfied. When you get up to 10K, you want 15K. 15K, 20K. Even when you get 1 million followers, you'll still want more. And remember, we have to be responsible that we are accountable to those people who follow us. We need to give them something. That's why they followed us. You need to serve the people that are following you, your community. But you do not need to be pressured to always perform with ulterior motives. Or thinking to yourself, I need to do so much more to get their attention so that they can stay with me. The right people who value you, they will stay. And the people that don't need you, they will leave. And that's where confidence in yourself comes in. Even if people around you are slowly fading away, that has nothing to do with who you are or whether you are enough or not. Bonus is also understanding where your focus is. Being more than enough is about focusing on one thing at a time and not feeling the need to be thinking about so many things at once. And it's easy to focus on many things. We all do that. But if it's not feeding you, if it's not giving you peace, then you need to let those thoughts go. Because nothing is worth your peace, especially in this condition of life that we are in, when everyone is trying to figure out life. But we know we can never figure out life because we're not God. But we can always try our best to understand and learn what we are going through right now and what we are exposed to. Rather, how can I change? What can I work on internally? Is it my patience? Is it my attitude? Is it my tone of voice? Is it my anger? Is it my confidence with myself? Is it being on the journey of becoming with other people who are also on the journey of discovering who they are? Is it about moving from one environment to another positive environment that can help me grow? There are many ways you can overcome the stigma and the struggle of not feeling or doing enough. Because I guarantee you right now, you are doing more than you think and you are doing more than you know. Just for you to wake up every morning to see a new day is something that we should never take for granted. So think about that. Remember, every day is an opportunity to tell yourself that I am enough. And if anyone hasn't told you lately that you are enough, take it from me. I'm telling you that you are enough and you are more than enough. And that's why you're here. So I want to take this opportunity to thank you for listening to this video. And I really hope that it has encouraged you and reminded you and will continue to remind you to keep persevering. Keep your focus in check. Choose what matters. Be intentional about what you focus on. Because what you focus on is going to magnify. It will take your whole focus. It will take your whole attention. And you don't want that. Every day must be an opportunity for you to breathe in, Breathe out. Take it easy. Don't try and make life rush the way you want it to. Anything that is rushed won't last. And we want to provide value in this life. We're not trying to be quick. For some people that want to be quick, all the best to them. But for us who are genuinely embracing the beauty of life and understanding where we are on the journey, it's about understanding that you are where you are for a reason and for a purpose. And when the appointed time comes for you to go to the next level, you won't even recognize it because you're truly enjoying where you are. And that is how life is meant to be. Thank you so much, ladies and gents. Till next time, I look forward to seeing you in the upcoming video. And if there are any topics that you would like me to discuss alongside this area of conversation, please do leave your comments below and I'll get back to you. Many thanks and see you in the next video. Bye bye.